Hello, hello. We are live in umbraCoffee episode 192, and I'm joined today by my amazing guest today. Hi, Jan. How are you?
Hi, Marcin.
Thank you for joining.
I'm good, fine. I'm good, fine. That's
it's Friday. Everything is accepted here.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also good. I didn't realize how this week and when this week just passed by. We had a couple good parenting chats before we went live today. It's amazing how similar issues and how some similar changes we are all facing. Life also affected Callum, who should be today with us, but Callum came back from his well-deserved and hopefully great holidays and just enjoys some urgent and issues of the company life and technical software deliverable life. So yeah, fingers crossed, Callum, for everything to make it true. Join us whenever you will deal with it. And we're here, we're here in another Umbraco week full of amazing things to be shared here. Hello, Craig, Rune, Rick, and Shanice, and everyone else who is watching right now. And let's roll it out. Of course, Jan, we will discuss some of the topics with from your field, from your expertise, I would say, when it comes to Umbraco topics. But let's kick off from the general news. I'm sure you were following it. It's probably the top one news from this week. It's a release candidate of Umbraco 8.17, and of course, new release candidate number 3 for Umbraco 9. Jan, question for you: Are you up to date with all the releases? Do you update whenever it's released? What is your approach right now when it comes to the new releases of Umbraco?
Yeah, I try to catch the news on Twitter, really, and I think before I closed my eyes yesterday, I was giving this blog post a read. So yeah, I think it's amazing that tabs are back now, and judging from the Twitter stream, it seems like a lot of people are very pleased and happy about it. So yeah, that's big news, and I need to. I've been playing around with Umbraco 9 RC2, and I didn't actually notice that RC3 is also available now. Even though it's mentioned in the headline of the blog post.
Yeah, it's great to see that, I must admit that I'm not installing every version. I'm not testing every version right now recently, but these updates shared by Rune and HQ team and other community members are such great that we know already what is in. We rely, of course, on heavy tests done by other community members, and people are really reporting bugs fast, and that's amazing because I already saw some reports of the issues for RC3 yesterday after it was just released. So it's just making it all better for the future releases. As a huge fan of tabs, I'm also happy that tabs are back. But there is also some great other stuff included in this release. And what I wanted to just mention that again, and probably many people already highlighted that, how well this feature is done. How great it looks, how the whole behavior of creating tabs, managing tabs, moving them, arranging, sorting them is done. And it's such great right now that even our team, who is not only development team, has said that it's amazing. It's how easy it's to build this content structure, content model when it comes to build them. So it's not getting improved from the editor's perspective, but also from the developers and web developers perspective as well, which is amazing.
Yeah. I had
so tabs are back.
Yep. Umbraco 9 RC2. So I had a little sneak peek, and I liked what I saw in there as well. So yeah. Seems very, very.
Some other upgrades, some less maybe noticeable updates, but some really cool when it comes to managing how Umbraco behaves for editors. Configurable overlays, something really truly amazing, and dependencies updates. And RC3, 25 issues addressed in RC2 are fixed right now in this release. Many backporting stuff to previous Umbraco releases, some new features, some new upgrades, and what is also going to be mentioned later in this episode is a documentation update and also kind of onboarding documentation, how to start working with Umbraco 9 and how it's different from other. So big high five for the whole team doing great updates here. And call to action is to just play with it finally. It's getting close to be released. I don't know if you've noticed that, Jan, is like 8.17 is going to be released on October 7th, and the week before that we will see the Umbraco 9, because the release date is September 28th. So it's really soon. It's extremely soon.
Yeah, it's actually happening. That's amazing.
A long-awaited time, but it's going to happen, and then there will be no more excuses to not use it.
Exactly. And I think they've had a really busy year in the core team around V9. It's amazing how much has happened in 1 year. Really, yeah.
Plus, of course, we are still partially responsible for making it even better. So if we'll spot issues, as I said, I saw some reports done yesterday, probably by Aaron, who highlighted already some issues during the installation or testing of Umbraco RC3. Amazing thing. So be sure to highlight all of the potential issues, report them. As you can see here, the teams are busy to really fix those issues. And before it will be released finally, hopefully we'll see more issues highlighted, more issues fixed, and final version of Umbraco V9 ready. From the package perspective, I think it's worth to mention also that package creators are not wasting time. We can start from Paul, who is here with us. Hi, Paul. Paul released a first V9 package following some of the great works done by other package creators. Here, the huge inspiration by Kevin Jump's editor-controlled behavior. I don't know, Jan, if you've seen this package, by the way. The back office themes and also this to-do list package. Both.
Yeah, I noticed Paul's tweet this morning, I think, but I haven't played around with it. But it's amazing to see how quickly it's embraced, and also that Paul is embracing this new option to actually add something in the user profile section, because I think, wasn't that a new thing in the last version, it's 16 release? So amazing. Yeah,
and it's good to see the also the inspirations being exchanged between community members, because again, we might not be that creative to find out some of the potential use cases or gaps for the packages, but it's a great combination of really simple concept of to-do list with some user profiles, and I still see that people might use it, right? It might need something like that in the Umbraco back office if they spend, for example, a whole day in the Umbraco back office. They might have this to-do list working for them. So great work, and of course it's an open source package. Everyone can also feel inspired and see how it's done and build something similar with that. Another packages ready for RC3, page note found manager from Nick. It's a beta 5 for RC3, and with the contributions from Aaron as well here. Kevin Jump, straight after RC3 was released his using update for this package. I need to check the timestamps of these tweets, but it was, I don't know if Kevin doesn't have any kind of automation, just on top of that, just whenever Umbraco releases this new version, just inform that using is there for this version. It must be something like that.
Must be, yeah.
But using is also ready, and 2 more packages released this week, coming from Harry Gordon. It's a fallback text property released for V9. It's an update from a previous version, and it's a property for full text with a fallback. And same or similar package and extension for a fallback image picker property. So you can pick an image with a fallback, and both of them were ported and are ready for V9. And the team from her side said that they are really awaiting for some testing. So if anyone wants to utilize this kind of properties in their V9 projects or just explore them, I know Paul Seal was asking for some packages to be tested in his 100 days of code with Umbraco. So Paul, if you want to test it out, I'm sure it will help for Dean and Harry from the team as well. And that's from the package field. One more update before I will hand it over to you, Jan. Scrift released the first of the series from Simone about Umbraco, DevOps, and Azure, and it's really something close to my heart. I like the topic. It's never enough learning and seeing how other people are organizing their DevOps pipelines. And here Simone started the series with a really nice and in-depth description on how the project can be configured, what is essential to make it work correctly on Azure, and how it can all be wrapped with DevOps tool. So great introduction to the series. There's more to come, so we can all expect that. And of course, as Scrift team always does, there's some around the web section with some great articles and links. So go and check it out. And it all drives us to another series. Jan, you might have heard about it. There are some people who are doing the yearly advent calendar for Umbraco community. Did you see it at all in your experience with Umbraco?
So it's like there's a calendar.
Sorry?
That's public. So it's like
it's a calendar.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Every day in December for a couple of years, they are gathering people who are probably randomly writing articles, and it's not organized at all. You never know. Probably they don't even know who is going to write article on every day. But it's interesting. I really wanted you to check it out because it might help you as well. I will share a link with you. But no, we can get back to being serious, Jan. Of course, we highlighted it last week. I highlighted it last week that you've started collecting authors and ideas for articles for this year's series, right? Can you maybe tell everyone else about the idea, because there might still be people who don't know about it. What it is, what we are doing.
There's probably some newcomers who haven't experienced this yearly event. So a long time ago, where Nils and Per were running Umbraco HQ, they decided to do a Christmas calendar one year, and I think they managed to do like 10 articles before they got busy doing other stuff, so the calendar wasn't quite finished. And then I think it was the year after that, Christian Steinmeier picked up on the idea and asked me and Sebastian Damak if we wanted to team up and make this like a regular thing where we would do a Umbraco Christmas calendar or Advent calendar. Publishing an article for 24 days in the month of December, and that's how it started. And we started to engage with the community, and there was a great support, and people were willing to write, and so we've been keeping that going for. This is going to be the anniversary season, because it's the 10th season we're looking into.
Nice. I was going to ask which year was the first one. It was 2010 then. 2011.
No, that was 12. Because
2012. So all the years are here. Okay, so that makes sense.
So,
10th edition. Still,
yeah.
I remember one year we were sitting here and discussing what were your favorite articles, or what you still remember about it. So maybe we'll want to talk about it this time. But do you have any, let's say, it's hard to say, expectations or plans for this year? Would you love to see more, I don't know, articles about V9, or you don't have any preference? I also know from my perspective as well, and we've been discussing it with Callum back in the days, that there were a lot of articles which were non-technical directly, and they were such great received, and they were so helpful for people, because we can get used to some technical stuff, but sometimes we need to be faced with some other challenges, maybe other topics. Do you have any plan for this year? Is there anything in your heads already?
It's we always like to have a good mix, but if it happens to be all tech articles one year, then that's fine by us. The important thing is like try and engage with the community and reach as broad a field of authors as possible, and as diverse as possible. But last year we changed it from like trying to reach out to people manually and then setting up this application form instead, because we are not getting any more time, as we discussed before the show. With the little ones, it's becoming harder to spend the same amount of time hunting down authors. So now there's an application form instead, and it's not. I think I can't remember how Christian phrased it one day, but we like a good mix of technical articles and also the more non-technical articles, and I think the script team also experiences that sometimes the articles about mental health or life experiences in this business of software developing or something like that is sometimes even more interesting to read. So we would love a good mix.
We are in the crazy times right now, right? So it's getting important, right? Even more important than it was before, and I still think that it's important to acknowledge it and to face it and to also learn about problems which we are all facing sometimes, right? So. So the form is here. I must admit, I wrote one article for 24 days. In 2015 or something like that. It was well organized. You guys are helping a lot with the editing process, right? It's like you are a really supporting team. So I believe that right now, if you will say, if you guys, whoever watches it right now, you have an idea, you want to really share something, submit this idea, and the team, I'm sure that you guys will reach out and help if that will be something what will be fitting the agenda, right?
Yes, of course. And sorry in advance for the ugly-looking form, but we had to put it together in a rush. So it's just
until it works
from Google Forms, and it doesn't look that good, but I hope it's possible to enter the details needed. We have had a few submissions already, so I know it's working.
So when there is an end date for the submissions, then because of course we'll share the link down below if you haven't seen it on Twitter. But when is the due date then?
In the ideal world, we would have a due date around the middle of October or something like that. But depending on how many signups we get, we might stretch it a bit. And it's the same thing each year. We say, we need to get on with it all a bit earlier because we are busy, and the people who want to write are also busy. And somehow it always ends up being a little bit more hectic than we dream of. But it's still good fun. So I can't actually remember the exact thing.
It's set in the form that it's November 1st, and then completion of your article deadline is November 25th. So yes, I think if anyone wants to motivate themselves to really share some knowledge, and I was saying it last week, but it's same with Scrift, it's same with 24 days. It's an amazing opportunity to have a drop of some knowledge and structurize it, plus build some credibility and visibility of your own work. I really admire your work and your activity, because I remember how we are all buzzed with the 24 days. Every day in the morning, everyone is looking for this article. Everyone is retweeting, even if they sometimes didn't read it yet. But it's just there. It's just a new piece of content related to Umbraco, and I think everyone can benefit from it, of course, by sharing the knowledge, by getting some knowledge and helping each other in this way, because we all know that it's not that easy to find authors as well, as you've said, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've also reached out to Umbraco HQ, who will support us by doing a little promotion as well. So we hope to reach more people, because sometimes Twitter might not be enough. And I hope that we can also have some slides made for the various meetups happening around the world. So meetup organizers could perhaps help us to push even more if anyone is interested in having an article posted. And like we discussed, the topics can really vary from a lot of different stuff. So it doesn't have to be all C#. It can also be purely front-end technologies, for instance, or it can be something about life experiences. It can also be on the subject of learning. We've had some articles in the past where I think it was Jax who wrote about the process of knitting and how she could translate that knowledge and learn to actually become a better front-end developer. So it can be from that perspective as well. But obviously, this year it would make great sense to have articles about all the V9 stuff, which is not obvious if you look at the back office because it looks the same, but so much has changed under the hood, and .NET Core is a new beast that we all need to learn to figure out, and it's exciting. And a lot of things have changed. So I recalled this morning an article from Jevon, who wrote about, I think it was called simply about 6 configuration tweaks that he does on every Umbraco project. Or maybe if you have a baseline or something like that, that you would always make these 6 configurations so you don't have to do them all over again. And now that there's no more web config, the big question is, okay, where do we now configure this? Is there a configuration file somewhere, or do we need to write a piece of code in order to have these configs in place? So stuff like that. And I know a lot of people have already been digging deep into to the code base and have learned a ton of stuff already. So if they feel like giving the community a little present, then please submit your article idea and we'll get in touch.
Yeah, I think, again, I use 24 days a lot with as a resource material for everyone who was learning Umbraco, because there were not too many resources back in the days, right? Right now, of course, we can rely on documentation, we can rely on some other sources, but still, it's a great book of advices and best practices and tips and knowledge. So I'm sure you will keep this this level of information being shared. But maybe it will be good also to share your story as a 10 years of 24 days then as well. If you won't have an idea for one article, you have it already. But quick call to action: submit your ideas, people. Everyone has something interesting to share, and let's keep the team busy with reviewing submissions and declining some of them, maybe if there will be too many of them. Maybe you can mention who is in the team, in the core team, who is behind the whole idea.
So like I said, Christian was the one who had the idea originally, and I've been hanging around ever since. And Dave joined us. Dave Wostenborg joined us like 5 or 6 years ago. Something like that. And then Dave usually also helps with some of the Christian and I are both front-end developers, and Dave usually does some pretty thorough tech reviews of stuff around C# and stuff that Christian and I are not sufficient to do. So.
Yeah, so it's a fully working and bulletproof process then behind the scenes, and I'm sure Dave and you guys can help in even making it better from the submission to the end result. So just do it. You've mentioned events, and I think it's really important that events are still in between, in the transitional phase from hybrid online to the in-person, but there's going to be more and more events, and everyone can share the knowledge on the event and then convert it easily to a blog post, to an article, to make it live longer, for example, right? Why not? That's a good opportunity. Cool. That's great, and thanks for sharing some of the insights. And I think, and I hope really that there will be more submissions like that. And we can talk about events then, to maybe combine both things and let people attend events and maybe have two pieces done at the same time. Because I don't know if you've seen that, but the Dutch Umbraco conference is back as well, as in-person event in December 20 and 21st in Utrecht. And right now, of course, they're starting the call for proposal and call for speakers period, which is open. And yeah, it's great to this was something what we were all waiting for. More events, more events on the map, more in-person events, and it's great to see that. And I can just say from the perspective of someone who attended one of the events in Dutch community, this festival, to be precise, that it's such an amazing event. It's great event, and I'm sure right now the organizers will do everything to make it great, even in the harder times than it was before. So as an additional call to action, if you want to do both and you have something interesting to share, maybe apply for the conference talk, and if not, or maybe if you will be accepted as well, convert it to article and get some publicity organized by the end of the year. And it's December as well, so it's a really nice, and it should be pretty packed month there.
Yeah.
Really great, but something probably closer to your heart, Jan. Code Cabin team shared something interesting for attendees, as I wasn't attending Code Cabin. I don't know, but you were attending. Can you tell us anything more about it? What's happening?
I think it's under NDA, so I'm not allowed
NDA,
to
yeah, I thought so.
anything. So no, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that.
I was thinking about it, but something is going on. But that's it wouldn't land on Twitter if it wasn't something to tease us. So yeah, Code Cabin attendees who haven't checked out the Slack, go and check it and let me know about it and everyone else. But it's interesting to see something is starting really. And yeah, we were mentioning a couple meetups aligned. Belgian meetup on September 14th. There is a Minneapolis meetup on September 16th, and at the same day there's Manchester and Northwest Umbraco meetup organized there. Two more groups announced the meetups as well. Edinburgh meetup group is going to organize a meetup on 22nd, and first in-person event organized also by Bristol community is going to happen on September 28th. So yeah, it's planned as an in-person event. So as I said, it's a really nice wind of hope for fans of any meetups and events. So yeah, please make them happen and let's get back to to them in a more organized way. I'm checking my list. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. There were two meetups this week. London meetup was yesterday, and there was a Thames Valley meetup group with Joe Glombeck talking there. I haven't attended, so I can't tell anything. I don't know, Jan, did you attend any of the online events during the pandemic, or? Yeah, same as I.
So. It's around the same time that we need to put the little one to bed and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So I would love to join, but the energy hasn't been there for it, really, unfortunately. But hopefully sometime we can attend some in-person events again. I'm really looking forward to that, as I figure that all of us are, really. Yeah. So. Nice to see.
Good. So yeah, let's await the comeback to the new normal, and hopefully we'll be able to see each other on various events across the globe again. There was one more action which I wanted to mention when we were talking about articles and knowledge sharing. I don't know if you've noticed on Twitter, there's an Umbraco involvement into 100 Days of Code movement this year. Paul Seal and Nurhak from our community are are really sharing a lot of useful tips and findings about Umbraco every day. And for I don't know, probably Eleftheria shared an article about it on 24 days, if I'm correct, back in the days, right?
Yes,
That 100.
a few years ago.
That
I
was
think
good
so,
memory.
Oh, so she might have mentioned it in that article she did for us. Yeah.
Yeah. So
True.
So it's a great initiative, basically about being consistent and sharing a tip or article or knowledge bit every day for 100 days in a row. So I must appreciate everyone who accomplished that. It requires a lot of dedication. I'm sure. So fingers crossed for Paul and Nurhak from our community who already are doing it. And I want to highlight that probably maybe in the next week's episode. So stay tuned. But yeah, if you are not on Twitter, or if you are on Twitter, just go and check 100 Days of Code hashtag and check out our community members activity, because small bits of knowledge every day are really helpful, and yeah, becoming 1% better every day is amazing. So yeah, I won't be committing to this challenge yet, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day in 15 years when the kids are grown up and look.
When we will get bored at some point and won't be busy anymore, maybe that. But yeah, no, I know that it's helpful for everyone. I remember this talk done by Eleftheria on probably Dutch Festival. That was Dutch Festival, and then all the articles, how it helped her to accomplish more and become better, and yeah, it might be used as a good motivation to really do something or do more or to achieve more. So
really that people find the right balance, because I also think that maybe doing 100-day challenge can at some level be a bit stressful. So I hope the people also remind themselves about relaxing while doing it, if you can put it like that. Look after your mental health. So if it feels like it's becoming too stressful, well, then maybe take a break and
or write about it. Write about the stress as a part of the challenge to accomplish that. Yeah, that's how it is. It's being dedicated to something or organize even something every week can be stressful and time consuming. I know that.
No, from personal experience. Yeah.
Paul mentioned that he is doing it instead of TikTok. So
well, it's just that I know that maybe some people feel stressed out about it. So I mean, if you start feeling the stress, well, then maybe take a break and get back into it. I mean, yeah.
That's really, really, really important. To wrap up, there is some other things on the agenda to mention, to maybe highlight, and I will let you to visit these articles because they will be all listed down below in the video. There's a new profile from September, who is Mike Allen this time. Mike is from United States. He's an active participant of Minneapolis Umbraco group, and he shared his story and how it all began with the festival, with Umbraco involvement and everything else, what he's doing. He wrote for Scrift and many more. But what I highlighted and what I like the most about this article is everyone is right now asked about some tips for Umbraco newbie, and I kind of like it. And Mike shared some tips about Modus Builder, how to extend Umbraco, and to think about content editors, what is always important tips to be shared. So yeah, check out Mike's profile. And be sure to follow Mike's activity if you're interested in what Mike is doing. Couple more articles. A combination of Adolfi appreciation segment and Umbraco HQ segment here on umbraCoffee, because Dennis wrote a great article about diving into Umbraco 9. I don't know, Jan, if you've seen Dennis' activity, all the blog posts from the starting with Umbraco 9 up to Umbraco 9 demo site, which has a lot of practices bundled within it.
I haven't been able to keep up and reading his stuff, but I'm sure it's great. Dennis is a great writer, and we have the pleasure of having him write for 24 Days as well. Yeah, he's doing an amazing job, but unfortunately I haven't had time to read any of it.
So yeah, just to mention, the whole story also is wrapped up in this blog, because Dennis summarized the whole journey, also with all the links to his explorations and what challenges he faced with dealing with Umbraco 9, what are the benefits, what are maybe the downsides and stuff like that. So yeah, everyone who wants to start with Umbraco 9 can check it out and relate to that. But also as an additional point, and high five to Umbraco HQ, there was an amazing blog shared by Rune, published on September 6th, about boosting the whole Umbraco 9 and .NET 5 knowledge, and it kind of relates to documentation mostly, but it's about how to get started, why not to be scared maybe about the new technology, because it's not something what we should be scared, where to start, where are the articles, where is the information, where's the documentation, with a lot of videos, what I love the most as well. Great article, and I think everyone, I will probably save it in the bookmarks, and whoever will ask me where to start with Umbraco 9, I will just link it to here. Great work done by Rune, collecting this all links and articles and just connection points. And we will all benefit from it, I must say. And Jan, you've mentioned that you've started playing with Umbraco V9. What is your initial feeling and just observation maybe after that play?
Well, it looks like V8, which I'm happy about. It's I've not been digging that deep down into it. Because I'm not a backend developer, so I've just tried to install it and see if I could find any bugs in the UI for some reason, and if I've found something, then I've tried to do a pull request or an issue. But from my experience, it seems to be pretty solid and stable. But I haven't done much apart from setting up the document types and all the data modeling and structuring. Because where I work now, we're probably not going to do that much of MVC stuff. We will use it more in a headless fashion, and then I will render the front end using Nuxt.js, for instance. So I don't know if there's something under the hood that needs to be fixed before the final release. But so far it's been pretty stable. I have been seeing some issues that was related to the caching of stuff, I think, because I went from RC1 to RC2, and then when I saved the document type, the browser made a refresh, and the document type was created 2 times and was not published, even though I had save and publish. But it turns out to be a cache issue. So once I got the cache properly cleared, then it worked like it should. So I'm confident that it's a really stable and polished release that we'll see in 18 days time. And it's really nice to see all of the documentation already being in place before the release is out. That's really a big kudos to the documentation team.
Yeah, that's exactly what I feel as well. We all feel more confidence now, and if it works, that's exactly what we were expecting. And right now we can just squeeze most of this technology and performance behind the scenes, because that's something what most of the people relate to already. That it's more performant, it's less resource consuming, it will be cheaper in overall to maintain that. So really great side effects of migrating to this new technology. But yeah, we await more, and great to see this knowledge being shared. And also Paul, who we mentioned already, shows a lot of insights on his journey with Umbraco V9, with a video about release candidate 2. So it's about the old good release candidate 2, which is already replaced right now with RC3. But yeah, it's again, installation, adding starter kits, setting models builder, everything what we will all be doing if we'll be going to set up the project. So yeah, check it out. If you prefer videos format instead of articles, there are more videos about starting the journey. And yeah, just do it and share your own maybe story if you will find something useful to be shared. For all the blog fans, there are also blog posts, so not everything is replaced with videos yet. There was a really nice blog written this week about Umbraco and dependency injection. Generally, what is the concept, why it's essential to be used, and how to use it. Something what is still maybe not that well spread across every developer in the community. Maybe not needed for many projects, but if you want to read more about dependency injection, how to do it, how it can be done with Umbraco, and what is the benefit of it, check out the Michael's blog here. Second blog which I wanted to highlight this week is from Jesper, and it's about setting page color based on the image on Umbraco. It's something really interesting. And yeah, Jesper writes on Dev2 platform, and here it's a deep description of how to get color from some pixels of image, and then apply it for some other properties, some other areas of the site. Really cool stuff. I'm curious about the use case of this situation. Where it makes the most sense of using something like that.
I guess it depends on the themes and needs of the project you're building. It's interesting stuff indeed.
Cool. Image processing is always cool and something really magical. And last but not least, on our agenda today, Package Manifest episode 10. Kevin Jump, who joined me last week, mentioned that they are recording the new episode, and this is the result of the recording. A package gurus, Matt, Kevin, Lee, Marcus, Lottie, and some really packed episode here, and they were discussing what was the exact topic of the discussion. Let me just open. They were discussing, of course, about package creations, but also about let me just check it out. I have it on my to-do list. And Jan, do you listen Package Manifest podcast? Did you listen any of the previous episodes so far?
I'm a bit behind, so I think I've been listening to 3 full episodes so far, and it's really good stuff. And I hope to catch the 7 I'm behind at some point. I started listening to it in my commute to and from work. But lately I've been listening to music because my head has been buzzing with a lot of other stuff. So yeah, but I usually listen to it when I drive to and back from work.
I can say that I'm listening right now when I'm working the rainy cafe loops, 10-hour loops on YouTube when you have a rain and cafe sounds. I'm just, it looks like my brain is missing things like that. So
I can't listen while doing other stuff because then I don't catch it all, and then I need to re-listen.
But it was a season finale, what Kevin mentioned last week, and I completely forgot about it. So it's a summary of the whole season, with Chris, Lottie, Marcus, Kevin, Lee, and Matt. So yeah, it's 10 episodes of the Package Manifest about package creations, about package delivery challenges, technical challenges, business challenges, a lot more about packages in the Umbraco ecosystem. So anyone who is interested in releasing packages definitely should check it out. And that's all from the list of things to be mentioned today. Jan, I don't know if you want to add anything else to that. Do you think anything else needs to be mentioned from your perspective?
I think you covered a lot, and I'm sure that you have noticed a lot more than I have. So no, I haven't got anything that comes to mind.
Yeah, just submit ideas for the blogs.
Yes, please do. And also,
submit.
If you want to share your setup when you're working with packages, I mean, there must be some people who have some scaffolding setup or something like that, so they don't go the same tedious task every time. I tried Googling for it, and the only stuff that I managed to find usually is how to create a package, either using the back office or using the new spec and all that stuff. But but I'm wondering how people actually approach building new packages, if they start from scratch all the time, or if they are using some kind of scaffolding technique or whatever they do. That would be interesting to learn about. I hope that Matt and Kevin will be talking about their process in more technical setup way in season 2 at some point.
I'm sure they will, and yeah, I'm also curious about it. So maybe let's chase some friends, team members, and everyone who can tell us how to do it and how it can be done. Maybe.
There are probably different approaches.
Yeah,
depending
exactly.
on what you're building and the scale of things and all that stuff. But it could be interesting to learn a lot more about. Indeed.
So yeah, let's all make 24 Days team busy this year reviewing our submissions, and as usual as well, like, subscribe to the channel to stay updated with all the Umbraco news every week. Yeah. I need to put some animations here, sounds, buzzers, everything. We are reaching a lot of subscribers recently, so thank you everyone for subscribing to us. We will because you are a subscriber, you are notified about stuff. So hopefully it will be also ability to keep up to date with everything what we are sharing. Thank you in advance. Thank you, Jan, for joining me today. Keeping fingers crossed for another amazing year of 24 days in Umbraco CMS. And yeah, thank you all for being with us here today. And see you each other next Friday, as usual. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend.